Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of my Create This Book 2 series by me and Moriah Elizabeth. Today I'm going to be doing 3 more prompts. Before I begin, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's see what I can come up with for today's prompts. I put in these little pink post-it notes at the top to get to my prompts quicker and to mark how many videos we have left, and I only have a handful of prompts and pages left to do, so I'm very excited to keep going through it and almost be completed with the whole Create This Book 2. For the first prompt, I'm supposed to create positivity, and I was very inspired by that cute little smiley face on the side of the prompt, and I decided to take inspiration from that and make my own emojis, but not my own, like kind of copy emojis that I think simplify positivity and make me happy to look at. And I've made little emojis on here before pretty early on in this Create This Book, so I thought this would be a good full circle moment to recreate some emojis that I think give off happy, positive vibes. So I decided to start off by doing the little hearts emoji. I did just a normal smiley face. I did the little smiley face with the blush, and so I just drew out a whole bunch of circles. That way I could just fill them with whatever emojis I wanted to and have kind of a baseline to start, but only happy emojis were allowed in this one. For the bottom section, I did little face emojis. For the middle, I did more items, and then for the top, I did items as well. That way they weren't just all faces. That way I could have more of a variety of different little things that can bring you positivity and make you happy. So that's what I'm doing here, just sketching out all of my designs and trying to come up with the things that make me happy when I look at them. This one is kind of a creative one. I decided to put in the little pumpkin because, you know, it's fall right now, and pumpkin emoji that's a little smiling at you makes me pretty happy. And then for this one, I put in the rainbow, so that one was also fun to do. And then I had to come up with 2 more. So for the top of this one, I decided to do a little cloud because I think clouds are really pretty, and on this one I did the sun. Once I had sketched out all of my positive designs, then I went ahead and went in with a Sharpie marker to outline all of the designs, just because I wanted them all to have kind of a bold ending place. That way when I put them into the book, they're easily seen. Comment down below what your favorite emoji is, or like at least your most used emoji. Mine is definitely that little smiley face with a little blush because I use that one like all the time. So let me know which one you use, just because I'd be interested to know. But anyway, now we're going back and just kind of continuing that whole process of outlining. I think outlining is such a satisfying part of the process, so I just took my time with it here. And then after I was done outlining everything, it was time to decide what I was going to use to color them in. And I thought back on when I did this before in the earlier videos, and I thought about just kind of repeating that same process. So I decided to use colored pencils for this. I don't use colored pencils that often, but I thought they would give me the best blend and just go best with the whole look. I had to erase the pencil underneath all of the sketches first, and now it's time to go in with those colored pencils I was talking about. But before I started, I remembered a comment from that video that said somebody wanted to come sharpen all of my pencils because they were dull, so I decided I better grab a sharpener and not repeat that mistake. Plus, it's so much nicer to draw with sharpened colored pencils, so do yourself a favor and keep that on. When I was drawing out the rainbow, I saw that I did not add enough layers, so I had to add another one so I could fit in the color purple. I really thought that I had counted out 6 layers, but clearly I didn't, but I'm glad I could just easily add one back in. Then I went ahead and colored in all of the red little areas in the drawing, and then I started working on the emojis, so I colored in the little brown spots for their eyes, and then I went ahead and added orange around the rims just to give that little touch of dimension that they have. And then I went in with the yellow and colored them in solid yellow colors, that way they looked just like their little emojis. And then I was completed with that row of emojis, so now it's time to move on to the next one. I'm not really sure why I created 12 for the whole page, but it was quite a lot. I'm not gonna lie, my hand was cramping a little bit after sketching everything out, doing all of the outlining, and then coloring everything in with a colored pencil. And then just a little bit of foreshadowing, I do this whole thing again for the next prompt, so it's pretty intense. So here I am working on all of these. I thought the mushroom was pretty cute. That brings me a lot of joy and happiness and positivity. So then I just went ahead and finished up the rest of the emojis, and now it's time to cut all of them out, which also was very intense. I tried to tackle it in sections, that way for my mind's sake I wouldn't exhaust myself cutting all these out, but they were so cute, so that also encouraged me to keep on going. So once I had cut all of the little emojis out, now it's finally time to bring back the Create This book and put them in the book. I tried to decide how to arrange them, and then I went with it from there. I laid them all out on the page on both sides of the book, and then this page was completed with all of this creative positivity, and I think it is very cute and very fun to look at. I love the colors. The colors alone bring me a lot of joy and happiness, so I think this really fits the prompt, and I love that little smiley face and how it encouraged this. So now it is time for this next prompt, which is to create negativity. So I decided to try and do the same thing, but this time to create negativity, not positivity, not happiness, just some negativities. So I decided to find all of the sad emojis, all of the emojis that make you want to cry. So I started sketching out all of these different emojis that I felt like were negative, but it was actually really hard to find them. Like I ended up doing a worm, a rain cloud. I think fire can be negative, so they're kind of a stretch, some of them, but I still tried to create an overall negative page, and I think all of the emojis together really can create some negativity. I hate spiders, little fun fact, so I decided to do a spider web, and I put the big red X emoji, a heartbreak, and now it's time to outline all of the designs, which is again really fun and really satisfying and just kind of easy work since you've already sketched out your design. Now you just trace over what you've already done, and after I was done tracing everything, it was time to repeat the process of coloring everything in. I realized that if I'm cutting them out, I don't really need to be that neat, so I kind of went ham and haywire on these ones, a little sporadic, but that's okay. And then I went in and just colored everything according to its colors. So now I'm going to spin that question I asked you around before. So now I'm going to ask you, what is your least favorite emoji? Do you have a least favorite emoji? Let me know. Mine is probably like the spider or the cockroach or something. One of those ones that's just like, why? We don't need this. So anyway, then I went ahead and colored in the drawings, and now it's time to cut them out again, which again was kind of hard. I realized this one can be a smiley face or a frowny face, so I really need to make sure I glue that in the book correctly. But once I was done cutting everything out, I pushed over the scraps, and now it's time to arrange these ones into the books. So I started gluing in the emojis for the right page, and once I was done with that page, something happened to the left page of the book, and this actually happens quite a lot in this book, so I decided I'd show you how I fix it. I just put glue on the edge seam, and then I tuck it back into the spine of the book, and then I close the book and kind of let it sit until the glue is dry. So just in case you're working on it and that happens to you, then I accidentally put that emoji in the wrong way. It needs to be an upside down smiley, not a smiley. Glued in the rest, and then this page of the book was done. This is how it came out, and I will say I think it screams some negativity. This is the positive page, and just look at the difference, like the contrast when you look at the positive versus the negative. So I think I was successful, and now it's time to create modern art. It said challenge the meaning of art. So I decided to think about what I think about art. So I wrote down a little list of what I think about art, and these are the things that I came up with. 1, it takes a lot of time. 2, there are superior mediums. 3, it has to be an identifiable object. And 4, it has to be planned. So it was my goal to challenge all of these thoughts. So I went as quickly as I could. I did not take a lot of time. I decided to use highlighters, so those are not superior mediums. It was not an identifiable object. I just did some swirls, and it definitely was not planned. So this was how I decided to kind of challenge my ideas of art. I still don't know that I would consider this art. Actually, I definitely wouldn't, but maybe that's just me. Let me know what you think. But here I go back to the first prompt again, which was to create positivity. And this one is my favorite. I definitely think it screams positivity, and it just makes me so happy to look at it with all of the colors and all of those cute little smiling faces looking at you, even that little smiling pumpkin. And I just love the little fall elements too. Like, they're just really fun. So this one's definitely my favorite page. Here is the negativity page where we did the same thing, but this time negative. So lots of frowns, lots of sadness, lots of things that I don't like thunder, lightning, and worms and spider webs. So this one was fun to create, but I do not love the things on the page, which I guess means I accomplished the prompt. And then here is the last prompt we did today, which was to challenge my idea of art. So that's what I did here, and I still wouldn't consider it art, but it was a lot of fun to challenge my thoughts and to think about what I think about art. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before you leave, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!